Hey guys, Sam here, welcome to another Pokemon Duel video, as I said before. This guy, Frieza, was like, make more videos please, and I'm kind of bored, so let's just go ahead and grant your wish, even though you are the only person who has asked for more videos like this. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys the deck that brought me all the way from 3,000 to 3,400, as you can see right here. My peak, I'm pretty close to my peak. I think okay, so check it out. I peaked at 3471. Which I believe I am one win away from, if I get a high enough opponent, I'm going to be able to beat that. And also my my monthly rating, I'm 1338 with a 2206, which is pretty good. Event going on right now, but, we're not here for that, just kind of to show you that we have the highest win rate right now. Fucking the Charizard bandwagoners are like, peace. Okay, so let's see. Just right off the bat, I'm not going to play any games with this. I'm just gonna tell you the reason why all of these figures are here, and this is going to be pretty self-explanatory, I guess, reason for that. If you go onto the featured duels, there's a 101% chance that you are always going to find a certain combination of meta figures. For example, we have one right here with a Japanese guy. Let's see, almost one with NK here. Let's see, this triple F dude, he has what I'm talking about. Let's see, is there another one? I mean, this Xanatos dude, also has part of my, deck, whatever. And that's pretty much it. So what do all of these people's decks have in common are the following, figures, whatever. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Anyway, this is the deck that I'm talking about. This is the previous one. I kind of changed it up a little bit. So this is now the new one, which took me all the way to this new peak. And here's the reason why we have all these figures. Now, first of all, you will see that my Zapdos chain level 5. I'm not really happy with that. I think I'm going to be comfortable with it maybe at 108. Zapdos are really common to have 102 and 103. So if you get all the way up to maybe at least 108, that's going to be super good. Why Zapdos? Because that is a complete Virizion counter. It's also pretty good against, let's see, Sceptile. Basically anything that has purple, like for example Gengar, which is pretty, prominent right now. You also have the, let's see, where is it? The newly released Sceptile. Fucking Sceptile. Sableye, which if you land on yellow, it's going to completely counter all of this bullshit wheel. So that's a really, really good thing. If you don't have a Zapdos on your main deck, you're obviously doing something wrong. Next one is Sceptile, obviously one of the original counters to Deoxys decks. And by the way, all of this deck is built around countering Deoxys. And even if you are not fighting against the Deoxys deck, it's going to be super good. Because, of the reasons why I'm going to explain right now. So, for example, Zapdos is also really good against poison decks, which we covered in the previous episode. Sceptile, and everything flying, grass, and bug is going to be pretty good against, the both Deoxys decks, poison decks, and whatever bullshit, since you have Tropical Energy to kind of back them up if they're poisoned, or to avoid rerolls. You also have the Sceptile, which is also a pretty common meta figure right now. You have to have this at level 5, otherwise, if you encounter a Poliwhirl, that's going to completely wreck your wheel. All the white is going to turn into a miss. So that's pretty sad. Let's see, so yeah, that's one of the original counters to Deoxys decks. You can never go wrong with the Virizion. Right now I don't have the... I only have one EX Cube, which is pretty good, but I'm not going to invest it into this bullshit. It's a really good cheese. It can stall games a little bit, which has won me a little games, and as you saw in the previous video, also won against that poison deck. You also have the Mew. I have a chain level 1 because I got an extra Mew from, the 10 packs, whatever, because, I honestly don't need 2 Mews, so just might as well invest that bullshit. So, yeah, you have this, which kind of, fucking stutter. 75% counters, the Deoxys bullshit, so that's pretty good. Also, it's really, really good against the Gyarados, complete counter, also against Blaziken, which is also in the meta, which is pretty good. So, all of these 4 figures, Zapdos, Sceptile, Virizion, and Mew, are almost mandatory if you want to get super high. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that, you 100% need these in order to, get super high in the rankings, but if you have these 4, then it's obviously going to be super good against some of the meta figures. Now, the other 2 figures that I have right here, Terrakion and Rayquaza, which I still haven't had at level 5, and I fucking suck. you know, here with are kind of depending on what you think is good against the current meta. So for example, Terrakion is super good against Sceptile, against Mew. It's also pretty good, you know, against the Zapdos, especially if you X attack it. That's super good. It's also pretty good against the newly released, which I don't have right now, the Tapu Koko with the electric decks and stuff. So that's pretty good. You know, it's also really nice against what else? I mean, there's not a lot of things that I can see here in the meta. But, you know, it's also pretty good. Let's see. We can also have the Seismitoad right here, which, you know, a lot of its wheel turns into a mist. So that's pretty good. And finally, I have the Rayquaza right here, which is obviously 100%, you know, maybe not 100%, but, like, super good counter against the Deoxys decks. If you put it, you know, into a perspective, let's see. So against Deoxys attack, you can either fly, which you're not going to get knocked out, the 140, which is only going to be tied to a chain level 10 Deoxys attack, is not really that common. I have seen it, but you're only going to like kind of stall a turn. And break energy, which is super good, since obviously if you get rid of break energy, then people running Deoxys decks have no clue what to do. If you run a Deoxys deck, you know, you should obviously kill yourself. It's one of the saddest fucking things in the game. But if you have Rayquaza, boom, beast. So that's pretty much it. Now about the plates, I have 2 double chances for the, and by the way, never mind. I have 2 double chances, both for, you know, I use these a lot for Sceptile, Virizion, and what is his fucking name? Sceptile, Virizion, and, I forgot the fucking name. What is it? Sceptile, Virizion, and Zapdos. I'm so sorry. Because you always rely on the yellow and you want to maximize your chances of landing it. I have 1 max revive, which is obviously pretty useful to, you know, get back on the field. A gold block, which allows me to be a little bit more aggressive, you know, when I'm getting into my opponent's field, which is super good. I also have an X attack right here, which is, you know, like I said before, pretty good with the Terrakion. Against the Zapdos, maybe against the Sceptile as well. And Tropical Energy, you can never go wrong with this, because obviously that's going to be your main counter for Deoxys decks, and it's going to be pretty good against Poison decks. So hopefully I explained this bullshit pretty good. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you playing this game. Right now I have 2 hours until my, by the way, maybe I can show you some of this bullshit. You know, from the okay, so I'm only 5 away from getting you know, another level. I think next I'm going to and just look at all of these fucking unused things. I bought the highest level of loyalty reward, and just look at all this bullshit. Sadly, I don't really have the, you know, the fucking money to do it. Like if I, you know, if I put all of this in here, come on. Let's see, so that alone, it's going to be fucking 171,000. I mean, it's not that bad, but, you know, still, I kind of prefer saving my cash for now. I mean, level 5 Rayquaza is not really that, you know, important. But yeah, what I do suggest is that you put all of your chain levels first, both your chain levels and your Carmonite in this order. Would be Zapdos, next I would put Virizion in there, then Sceptile, then Mew, then just 1 on Rayquaza, just if you find a chain level 10 Deoxys attack, which that's pretty good. And then finally, you know, you don't really need chain levels on Terrakion, just, you know, just kind of there to counter Sceptile and Mew and all that bullshit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to copy this deck, go ahead and do that bullshit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great day, and yeah, I'll see you then. Peace.